Jesus left with his disciples and crossed the Kendron Valley. There was a garden there, and he went into it with his disciples. Judas, the traitor, knew the place well, since Jesus had often met his disciples there, and he brought the cohort to this place together with a detachment of guards, sent by the chief priests and the Pharisees, all with lanterns and torches and weapons. Knowing everything that was going to happen to him, Jesus came forward.
Who are you looking for? Jesus the Nazarene. I am he.
Now Judas the traitor was standing among them. When Jesus said, "I am he," they moved back and fell to the ground. He asked them a second time,
Who are you looking for? Jesus the Nazarene. I have told you that I am he. If I am the one you are looking for, let these others go.
this was to fulfill the words he had spoken. Not one of those you gave me have I lost. Simon Peter, who carried the sword, drew it and wounded the high priest's servant, cut him off his right ear.
Put your sword back in its scabbard. Not to drink the cup of wrath I was prepared.
The cohort and its captain and the Jewish guards seized Jesus and bound him. They took him first to Annas, because Annas was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was high priest that year. It was Caiaphas who had suggested to the Jews it is better for one man to die for the people. Simon Peter, with another disciple, followed Jesus. This disciple, who was known to the high priest, went with Jesus into the high priest's palace, but Peter stayed outside the door. So the other disciple, the one known to the high priest, went out, spoke to the woman who was keeping the door, and brought Peter in. The maid on duty at the door said to Peter, now it was cold, and the servants and guards had lit a charcoal fire and were standing there warming themselves. So Peter stood there too, warming himself with the others. The high priest questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching.
Who are these people, and why are you teaching them?
I have spoken openly for all the world to hear. I have always taught in the synagogue and in the temple where all the Jews meet together. I have said nothing in secret. But why ask me? Ask my hearers what I taught. They know what I said.
At these words, one of the guards standing by gave Jesus a slap in his face, saying,
Let anyone talk to the priest. If there is something wrong in what I said, point it out. But if there is no offence in it, why do you strike me?
As Simon Peter stood there warming himself, someone said to him, one of the high priest's servants, a relation of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, said, Again, Peter denied it, and at once a cock crew. They then led Jesus to the house of Caiaphas to the praetorium. It was now morning. They did not go into the praetorium themselves, or they would be defiled and unable to eat the Passover. So Pilate came outside to the Jews.
What charge do you bring against this man?
If he were not a criminal, we should not be handing him over to you.
Take him yourselves and try him by your own law.
We are not allowed to put a man to death.
This was to fulfill the words Jesus had spoken, indicating the way he was going to die. So Pilate went back into the praetorium and called Jesus to him.
Are you the king of the Jews?
Do you ask this of your own accord, or have others spoken to you about it?
Am I a Jew? It is your own people and your chief priests who handed you over to me.
My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my men would have fought to prevent me from being surrendered to the Jews. But my kingdom is not of this world.
So you are a king then?
It is you who say it. Yes, I am a king. I was born for this. I came into the world for this, to bear witness to the truth. And all who are on the side of truth, hear my voice.
Truth. What is that?
And with that, Pilate went out again to the Jews.
I can find no case against him. But according to a custom of yours, I shall release one prisoner at the Passover. Would you like me then to release the king of the Jews?
Not this man, but Barabbas.
Barabbas was a brigand. Pilate then had Jesus taken away and scourged. The soldiers twisted some thorns into a crown and put it on his head, and dressed him in a purple robe. They knelt to him, saying, Pilate came outside again to the Jews.
Look, I'm going to bring him out to you to let you see that I find no case.
Jesus then came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe.
Here is the man.
Crucify him! Crucify him!
Taking yourselves and crucifying him, I can find no case against him.
We have a law, and according to that law he ought to die, because he has claimed to be the Son of God.
When Pilate heard them say this, his fears increased. Re-entering the praetorium, he said to Jesus,
Where do you come from?
but Jesus made no answer.
Are you refusing to speak to me? Surely you know I have the power to release you, and I have the power to crucify you.
You would have no power over me if it had nothing to do from above. And that is why the one who hands me over to you is greater guilt.
From that moment, Pilate was anxious to set him free, but the Jews shouted,
If you set him free, you are no friend of Caesar's. Anyone who makes himself king is defying Caesar.
Hearing these words, Pilate had Jesus brought out, and seated himself in the chair of judgment at a place called the Pavement, in Hebrew Gabbatha. It was Passover preparation day, about the 6th hour. Pilate said to the Jews,
Here is your king.
Take him away! Take him away! Crucify him!
You want me to
So in the end, Pilate handed him over to them to be crucified. The cross is laid on Jesus' shoulders. And he starts on a shameful journey to Calvary. What thoughts must have been going through his mind at this lonely time, on this lonely journey? Was this what it was all about? Was this what he had come into the world for? Was this doing the Father's will? Knowing what lay ahead the previous evening in the Garden of Gethsemane, he had asked of the Father if it were possible to avoid this moment. He asked if it be possible that this cup pass me by. Seemingly, it was not possible to avoid what redemption required, and Jesus knew it. The price to be paid for redemption was going to be very high. It would involve betrayal, hatred, humiliation, unspeakable suffering, and finally, death. But it would also involve the love, support, compassion, and loyalty of a handful of those closest to him. This hour is the world's darkest moment. This hour is when the world stops. This hour is when God chooses to be silent. But yet, he must go on. It is a good while yet before it will all be over. Before the world will be changed forever. Before death and sin will be destroyed. He struggles along the dusty path. Each step gets more painful and more difficult to take. And yet, he goes on. He is weak from his beatings and from loss of blood, and he falls not once but 3 times. Simon the passerby is enlisted by the soldiers to mock him. Others are moved to pity also, including Veronica, who wipes his face. Mary, his mother, is a witness to his suffering. Jesus now comes to the place of the skull, or as it is known in Hebrew, Golgotha, where they crucified him. Jesus, the sinless one, was willing to die for our sins. His bruised body was roughly put on the cross, and the cruel soldiers hammered nails through his limbs. Jesus made no response to some bystanders who taunted him, saying, "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." 2 others were crucified also, one on either side, with Jesus in the middle. Pilate wrote out a notice and had it fixed to the cross. It read, "Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews." This notice was read by many of the Jews, because the place where Jesus was crucified was not far from the city, and the writing was in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. So the Jewish chief priest said to Pilate,
You should not write King of the Jews, but this man said, I am King of the Jews.
What I have written, I have written.
when the soldiers had finished crucifying Jesus, they took his clothing and divided it into 4 shares, 1 for each soldier. His undergarment was seamless, woven in one piece from neck to hem. So they said to one another,
Let him tear
In this way, the words of Scripture were fulfilled. They shared out my clothing among them. They cast lots for my clothes. This is exactly what the soldiers did. Near the cross of Jesus stood his mother and his mother's sister, Mary the wife of Clopas and Mary of Magdalene. Seeing his mother and the disciple he loved standing near her, Jesus said to his mother,
Woman, this is your son.
Then to the disciple he said,
This is your mother.
and from that moment the disciple made a place for her in his home. After this, Jesus knew that everything had now been completed. And to fulfill the Scripture perfectly, he said,
I am thirsty.
a jar full of vinegar stood there. So putting a sponge soaked in vinegar on a hyssop stick, they held it up to his mouth. After Jesus had taken the vinegar, he said,
It is accomplished.
and bowing his head, he gave up the spirit. It was Preparation Day, and to prevent the bodies remaining on the cross during the Sabbath, since that Sabbath was a day of special solemnity, the Jews asked Pilate to have the legs broken and the bodies taken away. Consequently, the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first man who was crucified with him, and then of the other. When they came to Jesus, they found that he was already dead. And so instead of breaking his legs, one of the soldiers pierced his side with a lance, and immediately there came out blood and water. This is the evidence of one who saw it, trustworthy evidence, and he knows he speaks the truth, and he gives it so you may believe as well, because all this happened to fulfill the words of Scripture. Not one bone of his will be broken. And again, in another place, Scripture says, they will look on the one whom they had pierced. After this, Joseph of Arimathea, who was a disciple of Jesus, though a secret one, because he was afraid of the Jews, asked Pilate to let him remove the body of Jesus. Pilate gave permission, so they came and took it away. Nicodemus came as well, the same one who had first come to Jesus at night time. And she brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, weighing about 100 pounds. They took the body of Jesus and wrapped it in the spices in linen cloths, following the Jewish burial custom. At the place where he had been crucified, there was a garden. And in this garden a new tomb, in which no one had yet been buried. Since it was the Jewish day of preparation, and the tomb was near at hand, they laid Jesus there.